Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. Di Marzio has launched the name Casemiro, who has opened to a loan move to Roma, and also Man United have accepted that he can leave on a loan. The situation regarding that, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Will it happen or will it not happen? And then of course the second thing is Hermoso, another player who we bought in this summer transfer window and is going to basically leave after only 4 months, which is another example of the disaster that Ghisolfi pulled this summer, selling players that he bought 4 months ago like this. And most importantly, we're selling players for fun. When are we going to start replacing these players with some signings? Because I'll tell you one thing for free, I'm very worried. Because we're selling players and we're not buying anyone. If I am not supposed to be worried, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I doubt Ghisolfi. I've always doubted Ghisolfi and I will continue doubting him until the day he leaves. He's not good enough to carry on a transfer session. He does not have the logistics and the capabilities of running a transfer session at this football club. Because all he's done and all he is doing is a mess, is an absolute mess. Now, again, I might be wrong. He might sign 3 players on deadline day. That's a very typical thing that he could do. But I highly doubt it. In fact, I actually think we're going to sign 1 more player in this transfer session. We've got 5 days to go. We don't have a month left. We've got 5 days to go. This is the thing which I'm not sure if we have realized. But yeah, look, let's speak about this. Casemiro, of course, and Hermoso leaving on a loan. Very upset on that as well. And yeah, if you've got questions, pop them in the live chat. I want to go live a bit longer today, so do ask questions. Hit the like button. 100 likes would be great. We've got an in or out game on Thursday, match preview tomorrow. I'm so ready for it. I'm a bit worried, but I'm very, very ready for it. So hit the like if you're ready as well. Let me know your thoughts on Casemiro in the live chat and in the comments down below. And also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. 100 likes is the like target. I'm going to read comments moving into the stream. Let's start with Casemiro. Right, Di Marzio has spoken about this morning. And there's a situation to analyze before speaking about this deal. Because this is not a deal. I mean, from how Di Marzio has described this is not going to happen unless Paredes leaves. And I don't think Paredes is leaving in January. I can see Paredes leaving in June because, look, he's always said that he wants to go back to Boca one day. And I would not be surprised a bit if Paredes leaves in the summer. But in January, I don't expect a player like him, who has fallen back again in the center of this project, leaving in January. It would be a very big mistake from the club to let him go. And also, I'd be very disappointed in him if he does accept to leave this soon in such a crucial moment of the season. So, I mean, starting with the primary base that I don't think Paredes will leave, so I don't think Casemiro will come. But let's do say that Paredes leaves and Casemiro comes in. I think it's a downgrade. I think it's a downgrade. I don't put in doubt what Casemiro has achieved, what Casemiro has been. But to be very honest with you, we are not a rehab center. And I think signing Casemiro to replace Paredes, who's on a player who's on 365k a week in England, and who would immediately be the top earner at your football club, I just don't think it's sustainable. I mean, look, I don't think this is the way to move forward. We've done this in the past, and we've done this in the past, and we've been stuck in this loop for years now. We need something else. And I think, and I look at this deal, and I'm like, this is the classic move. For number one, this is the classic move that a manager like Mourinho would have done. But number two, I look at this deal and I'm like, this is the classic deal which a football club that has no creativity does. Like, and again, I would not be surprised because I don't rate the work of our board. So I would not be surprised if they do pull this. But I mean, it shows to me that I don't know who to buy. I don't have a scouting department. I can't scout younger players. I'm not bothered. I'm not creative. You know what? Let me just fill in the gap with a 33-year-old player who's on a massive downhill, is out of Man United's project, earns 365k a week, and would become your top earner. Yes, let me do that, and then my position is covered. A player who, in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, will probably go to Saudi or the MLS or wherever. I don't think it's. I just don't think it's sustainable. But I just don't. Look, I don't think it makes sense. I just don't think it makes sense. You know. But again, that's my take. I think where I sit on this fence is that I'm more of a no to Casemiro than a yes. But I do acknowledge the yeses, and I will speak about the yeses in a second. I do think there are a few positives. I do think that the no's and the negatives outweigh the positives, because somebody of his age, of his form, because form is vital these days, and most importantly, another thing, it's wages. It's wages. Like, why do I need? We're hearing about revolutions, salary cut, wage cut. Let's be more sustainable. And then all of a sudden, in this process of being and trying to be more sustainable, we want to offer the money to pay Casemiro's salary. I will never be tired of saying this, and I know I'm repetitive, but it's the number one problem at this football club: incoherence. The first word which comes to my mind when I look at this deal is incoherence. You've been speaking about wage clearouts for the past 12 months. This summer, you aimed your transfer session to be more sustainable, to spend money big on the price tags, but less money on wages. And you have, to a certain extent, eliminated the high wage cost. And all of a sudden, I don't know who to buy. I'm not bothered to search for anybody more interesting than him, or anybody who's got a bit more potential than him. Let me just pay for a dead player, let me pay his high wages, and let me cover Paredes' position. You see, it's incoherent. It's incoherent at its best. And in my opinion, that's the no. Again, I will say this again. I don't think this will happen. He wants this move. Di Marzio has confirmed that he wants this move, and he's accepted a move to Roma. And also, adding on to this, Man United are opening up for a loan. So, I mean, ideally, if it was any other player, I would have said yes, because the conditions are there. Get him on loan, he wants to join us. The only hypothetical scenario which would make me say, okay, go for him, is if Paredes stays and we just put him in to replace Lefebvre. So put that experience in the team, only if it's a loan move, and only if Man United maybe not pay his entire wages, because that would be too wishful thinking, but if we can split the wages in two. If, and this is kind of where I turn the table and go, why does he need to be Paredes' replacement? Can't we sign him as a Lefebvre replacement on a loan and negotiate with Man United to split the wages in two? If that's the case, I will take him, because he can add that experience, and he'll be a second line, but it would be a good second line, definitely better than others. He's 32 years old. He can guarantee you one season. Look at Matic. We'll speak about the positives in a second. So, yeah, what I would say is, if Paredes doesn't leave, so if this is not a move to replace Paredes and keep Paredes, but also buy him to reinforce your midfield, if they open up for a loan, and if they agree to pay, if not 100%, 80% of their wages, maybe a bit more, or maybe a bit less, then okay, I'm fine with it. I would say yes. Otherwise, it's a no for me. But I do think there are a few positives which not many people look at, which I guess it's fair to analyze the positives as well, just to not, throw under the bus like this. I think the positives here are, the positives of this deal, to me, only come from the Matic experience. Because the Matic experience was literally this exact deal. It was literally identical to this. And I was skeptical about Matic. If you've been an OG subscriber, you will know about this. I was very skeptical about Matic because I would consider him a dead player. And most importantly, I did not think he was going to be a starting player. Did not have the abilities to be a starting player. The only positives that I get from this are from my flashbacks of Matic. Dead player at Man United, on high wages, who comes to Rome and completely dominates your midfield. People will go, well, look what happened with Wijnaldum. And I fully agree, which is why, it's kind of like you've got two paths in front of you. If you do sign him, would this be a Matic good signing, or would this be a Wijnaldum good signing? Two players which were considered dead players when we signed him. Nobody wanted Matic and turned to be a very important player, which nobody wanted him to go. Everybody wanted Wijnaldum, and everybody ended up wanting Wijnaldum out. If it's a Wijnaldum, it's a bad deal. If it's a Matic, it could be one of those deals which can win you the Europa League. Because if you add Kone, Paredes, Pizzilli, all of these players, and add somebody of Casemiro's experience, who can prove to be what Matic proved to be for us, then it could be a Coppa Italia signing, winning revelation. Because he's a big player, because he knows how to play in the Europa League, in Europe, in direct encounters. So, look, it's a 50-50 deal. No doubt it's a 50-50 deal. I don't think it will happen. But no, my no's outweigh the yeses. But I can find a few yeses. Smalling is another example. Players who were dead at United, nobody wanted. And then they come to Rome and they're very dominant. And, he could be another example of this. He's 32 years old. He's not young, but he's not 38 years old. He's not Zlatan Ibrahimovic coming out of retirement. He is basically the same age as Dybala. So, again, I think with Casemiro it's his attitude. If he's determined to be a good player and start playing well, then Casemiro can change you this season. But if Casemiro comes to Rome to be a tourist, what Hermoso did, then it's just a waste of money. But yeah, that's my thought on it. I mean, do let me know in the live chat and what you think in the comments down below if you're watching this not live. This team won't sign a midfielder permanently because we will definitely try for Fratesi again in the summer. The obsession will never end. I've had enough of Fratesi. I really have had enough of Fratesi. We need to let that man go. It's becoming too obsessive that it's becoming creepy. Like, let him go. There are better midfielders. He's good, but there are better midfielders. And if we always try and always fail, we just waste time to be more effective. BM says big no for Casemiro. I don't mind Casemiro for half the season, but he's not a priority. We really need a centre-back and striker. Yeah, and that's where we need to speak about Hermoso. We need a centre-back because Hermoso, here we go, Bayer Leverkusen, another player who's leaving. Now we only have 3 centre-backs. Like, for us who play with the back 3, if Geisulfi doesn't wake up, and if one of our 3 centre-backs gets injured, we're screwed. This is how inefficient and unorganized we are. You need to, which is why I say, before you, and this is the base, this is what I mean, I could do a better job than Geisulfi. It does not take an expert to understand that before you let Matty Ryan go, or before you let Shomurodov go, or before you let Hermoso go, you need to have signed or at least blocked players. This is another defect that Geisulfi has and has been carrying with him since this summer. He sells players for fun, and then he leaves us with 0 replacements and waits 2 weeks to cover these positions. It's not good enough. On Thursday, last Thursday that we played against AZ Alkmaar, we decided to sell Matty Ryan like this. There were rumours of Svilor having a fever. Now let's say that Svilor had a fever last Thursday and couldn't play, and you had sold Matty Ryan like this without having blocked Golini before. That 16-year-old goalkeeper had to start a European game. And we would have lost. I mean, we did lose, yes, but we would have lost. There is a lack of programming. There is a lack of just base logistics inside this sport. Now that Hermoso has left, we needed a centre-back coming in today. And I would not be surprised if he lets Hermoso go tomorrow morning and he signs a replacement in about 5 days, which leaves us with a knife in our throat in case one of our 3 centre-backs gets injured. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Shomurodov. Okay, Shomurodov leaves tomorrow morning. Dovbyk gets injured. Yes, you can sort Dybala as a full start. I agree. But, at other football clubs, this mess and this chaos does not happen. It's just at our football club. The point here is that these mistakes happen nowhere else. They just happen in Rome. Because our board is not competent enough. It just isn't. So one thing to consider is that Hermoso's leaving. I mean, Hermoso leaving on a loan to me makes no sense. Again, it feels like I'm only complaining in this live stream. Mind me, I always try to get the positive out of myself. But what's the use of signing Hermoso this summer? The player wants to leave, loan him out. He'll be in our club in 6 months' time. Out of our project, a player who has publicly said that he only came to Rome for De Rossi and to eat carbonara, was never interested in playing a Roma game for us. Yeah, we'll give him on loan. We never force ourselves to try and unlock a permanent move, put pressure on other clubs. I know that we don't have the financial pressure that Bayer Leverkusen have, but sometimes we can try a bit more. It's a loan move. They pay their wages, his wages, which is good, I guess. We need a new replacement coming in. We need a new centre-back coming in. And the other thing here is we need a striker. Shomurodov will leave. We need a striker. I don't know. We haven't been linked with many strikers. We've been linked with Mikadadze yesterday from Lyon, the Georgian from Lyon. We were linked with him this summer. 30 million is too much for him, and we won't spend 30 million on a striker. So I don't know who we get as a striker. I think what they're trying to do here is sell Hermoso, find a Hermoso replacement, sell Shomurodov, get a Shomurodov replacement. But time is ticking. 7 days left. No, less than 7 days. 29, 30, 6 days. Maybe even less, 5 days. 5 days to get 2 players with Gizulfi on the work table. I would not guarantee that we do get 2 players. But yeah, that's my little rant of the day, I guess. I poked my eye with a pencil today and it hurts so much. What do you think about Galeno to Napoli rumor? Many people in Porto want him out. They want him out because he missed 2 penalties in a game, right? He's not a bad player. He's the player that would be perfect for us. I don't know who Napoli get as a replacement. I mean, Conte has been very clear. Either a big player comes or we're not going to waste money. That sweatshirt looks like a PSG jersey. PSG colors. No, it's just a Nike top. How are we supposed to get a defender, midfielder, and a striker in 5 days? Oh, we won't get a midfielder. We'll only get a midfielder if Paredes leaves. Gizolfi's basically told us, I've made a mistake with Lefebvre. I've sold Lefebvre. I'm not going to buy anyone else. Which I think is wrong because you do need to replace him. But I guess it won't happen. We won't get 3 players done in 5 days. We'll get a defender and a striker maybe. Depends on how quick these players leave. I want to get Kefrem Taram, says Scottish. Good player. I'm guessing maybe Ranieri is comfortable with Cristante at the back. I was surprised that Ranieri pretty much admitted that Hummels didn't want to come in late in the last match. We should sign Brian Brobby or Andre Silva. No, Brobbey, no. Brobbey has like 1 goal in the last 6 months, if I'm not wrong. Andre Silva isn't bad as a second striker, yeah. Experience or not, why do we always get washed up players rather than have a Primavera player for Rio? What are your thoughts on the forward dilemma? Do you want a certain player to join the Giallorossi? Well, if I were to pick, I would get. We were speaking about him the other day. Somebody pulled that out in the live chat. Castro from Bologna, but again, he won't come, and he won't come to be a second striker. But somebody along his characteristics, a different striker to Dovbyk. That's all I ask for a striker. Not a physique merchant, a technique merchant. A Joshua Zirkzee, a Santiago Castro, kind of a drop-down striker, Harry Kane style. I'm thinking of some strikers around. Somebody like Lautaro, not Lautaro, of course, but somebody along these characteristics, different from Dovbyk. More agile, quicker, faster, who makes the runs, who keeps the balls, who drops down, can dribble, can set the play. A different type of striker as of the ones that we've had in past seasons. Kind of an Azmoun, but a better version of Azmoun. We've had Dzeko, Lukaku, Dovbyk, very similar strikers as first strikers in these past seasons. We need something else as second striker, in my opinion. Are we getting a backup striker when Shomurodov leaves? Backup for Hermoso? We're going to end up playing Kristantin Cilic at centre-back if any of our defenders get injured. Yeah, I guess. We need replacements, of course. Thoughts on the Nainggolan situation? Is anyone surprised? The one thing that I would say here is anyone surprised? I'm surprised it took him 35 years of age to be involved in drug trafficking. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I've said it many times. He has said it many times how he played football whilst drinking half buckets of vodka on a Saturday evening and stepping up on a Sunday afternoon to play, or even smoking weed and cigarettes. He literally said it publicly. So it's not that big of a deal. If he committed a mistake, it's fair that he needs to pay. But I don't understand people who make such a big dilemma about it. There are football players which are like this, and he's been like this whenever he was a beast with us as well. That does not change my love for him and my idolatry and the amount of love and passion and childhood hero that I see in him. Of course it doesn't. If he made a mistake, if he committed a crime, then it's fair that he gets paid and that he goes to jail. But unless he's proven guilty, he's innocent. Innocent until proven guilty, right? But yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. People who are surprised by Nainggolan drug trafficking don't know who Nainggolan was. What do you think about the Galeno? Oh yeah, I read that. They should bring in Matthijs Tel on loan for backup striker, says Denier. Bring a big forward player like Luca, he can do damage. Richarlison, says Scottish. Ninja scored a dreamer last week. Where does he play now? He plays in the second division of Belgian football, right? He's fallen very low. The reason why Nainggolan had an insane peak, like he peaked, and when Nainggolan was in his peak, he was top 10 midfielders in the world. Oh yeah, without a doubt. But the reason his peak lasted this short is because of this. It's because other clubs, more serious clubs around the world, won't sign a player who publicly says he gets drunk every weekend and stuff. So the reason his peak lasted this short is because he left Roma. I think had he stayed, maybe he would have had another really good season, but not longer than another one full season. It's Radja Nainggolan. It's Radja Nainggolan, a player who grew up in very difficult, backgrounds. A player who it's not the first time that he is involved in these scandals, so it's not a surprise at all. I said this yesterday in the fan forum. I'm surprised that it took him this long to be involved in one of these scandals, because it's Radja Nainggolan. He's always been like this, and he is who he is also because of this. And because of his mentality and attitude and mindset around these topics. Right, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna catch you tomorrow with a very important match preview, the last group stage Europa League match preview. Hopefully, it won't be the last Europa League match preview of the season, because otherwise, my season would make no more sense if we get thrown out of Europe. But I'm confident, I am positive. Let's win on Thursday. Let's get to the playoffs and let's win the playoffs, I guess. But yeah, not an easy game. We'll speak about the game tomorrow. Predicted 11, a few words on Eintracht, Frankfurt, and the great season that they're having. So make sure to come back tomorrow. Turn the bell notification button so you'll be notified every time I post a video or go live. 100 likes on this video is the like target. Please do hit the like button. You, yourself, I'm speaking to you. Hit the like if you're watching live right now before going to eat, or if you're watching in a few hours when this video will be done. Hit the like, subscribe, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a good one, and speak to you soon. Bye-bye. See you at